says, now you saw this on The View because Kamala Harris is
speaking about it tonight. She has an interview tonight.
DeSantis agreed with the Florida Board of Education. Black people benefited from slavery by learning skills like blacksmith
and building streets and houses.
It's the same concept. No, but people would think you always got to put it in layman's terms. That's why Jesus spoke in parables, because he know how dumb we are.
He spoke on their level of what their understanding and what they dealt with.
It's the same concept, and I'm not going to even say a child, of a woman being violated in the bed. And the man says in prison, well, I taught her some stuff. She didn't know. She learned some stuff.
Being violated, she learned
some stuff. I taught her while I was violating her.
She learned.
I taught her how to do this in bed. I taught her some tricks that she never knew before.
Right.
So next time when she's with a man and they're having sex, she'll be better at it. So while I violated her, I taught her some stuff.
She learned some stuff through
you would be appalled if somebody said that on national television. Wouldn't you? If somebody said, well, she did learn some stuff.
Through it all.
That's the same concept. While you were violating a group of people, you taught them how to shoe a horse.
And they learned.
And they learned how to shoe a horse. And they learn how to plant greens
and grow some
and kill a pig
and build a highway and build a railroad. They learn those skills
while you were violating,
while you were ripping the families apart and violating the women. And
no, it doesn't matter that the woman's child learned on another plantation because you snatched her out of your arms when it was a baby.
Taking children from their parents.
Right, what I'm just saying.
I was telling my sister.
But they learned. They learned some new skills.
I said a lot of times the mentality of, you should be glad we brought y'all over.
So slavery wasn't that bad, was it?
You were real poor in y'all
You would have still been in Africa if it wasn't for us.
Spears in your nose and bones coming out your ears.
As if that's all of Africa.
Don't even know about our history as kings and queens. Remember, Egypt, that's Africa. That we got strong history, very good history. But no, we did y'all a favor. Y'all, we brought y'all over here kicking and screaming. We get it. But y'all learned a lot.
And you learned that free labor for hundreds of years builds a lot of money in your family, doesn't it?
You made money off of us. We were property.
Free labor.
You got paid when we ran away. My property is gone. I need my money. Oh, here you go. Here's 1,000. How many of them ran away?
But they want to whitewash history. Yeah. And when I say, look, all of it. Black people own slaves too. Yeah. Tell it all. I don't want to hide none of it. If it's a black family now that benefited off of owning black slaves, I want to know about it.
There were blacks in Africa that benefited off of bringing more slaves to
that movie that Viola Davis did. A lot of black people got mad because the way she portrayed that tribe was not the real way that tribe was. They benefited from slavery.
And
when slavery ended, they kept
going. Because you think about it, when you think about the continent of Africa, is so many countries and so many tribes against tribes trying to overtake tribes telling on other tribes to be slaves, get money from the people that came to get them, whether they were Dutch, whether they were British, whether they were from Scotland, wherever. Tell the men with all that tribe that's down in Uganda, go get them.
And so Scarlett says, let's not forget these skills were learned under peril with whips and chains. Oh, so you a good blacksmith now. Not only did you learned after being hit a couple of times how to shoe a horse.
You had to change your name, so you got beat down for that. We couldn't read. Some of us had to hide to go learn how to read. So what we benefited from that? We benefited from not reading. You told us we couldn't read.
So that's why I say I'm
Lord,
trying to put it in the most layman's terms for people that are dumb. Even black people who say that. You know, there's some black people, self-hating black people, like Candace Owens. Yeah. But I try to say it in the most layman's terms of how dumb that sounds. Mm-hmm. You learn skills while you were being abused.
By being violated.
I said that. A woman being violated in the bed can learn skills, can't she?
She learned some things from that. I'm sure she remembers.
Especially if she was a virgin. I did her a favor.
She don't have to deal with, the first time.
Her hymen don't have to be broke no more. I broke it for her.
And I was telling my sister, I said,
so some good came out of it, didn't it? Or the ones that say he assaulted her and she got pregnant and had the baby. Because one of my friends was a result of that.
Right.
And her mom didn't abort her.
Yeah, thank God. She kept her.
But her mom don't say, oh, thank God I was violated. I would have never had you.
Now, I've experienced having a child. But
something in spite of.
I told my sister, I said, how it's worded is even like, it makes you cringe.
But in the Bible,
Black people definitely are saying in spite
but the Bible talks about that. Yeah. Taking something that the devil meant for evil,
God meant
and God turned it around and worked it for your good.
Yes, thank you.
In real life, people can do stuff to you that's meant to hurt you
of the
and destroy you, and get fired on your job or get this. And God said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take that incident and it'll work out better for you because now I'm gonna give you a better job.
I'm gonna turn your mourning into sunshine."
But it doesn't take away the person that did that to you.
Thank you. That they
still reap it. They gonna reap every bit of what they sowed. Period.
Right. So to say it when Kamala's going to speak to it tonight again, but the whole school system in Florida that's bringing this up, they need to be, you need to really sit back and review this.
Scarlett said the same thing. That doesn't absolve the evildoer of their evil deeds.
They will reap it.
That's the same thing that the Bible, it doesn't change it. God said what the devil meant for evil, I'll turn it around and make it for good. Right. But the devil is still going to pay for what he did.
That person will pay because they allowed the devil to use them. So that was seeds that they sowed.
Exactly.
Good or bad. God said that's the law of the land.
Just teach history. Yes. Why are they so afraid of history? Teach history so then people don't repeat it.
They don't want to teach the ugly of history. They want to make history.
That's history.
Even in that time of that sadness, they want to still try to glean from it because they have to look good. And I was saying when I was telling my family earlier,
some history ain't good.
I know it's ugly, but it helps you not to repeat it.
It helps you.
It's like, oh, I learned from that. I'm growing from that. I see God moved in that in spite of that.
The same thing we say with Black people, the ones that went to Carly's defense. They don't want negative Black. Yeah, there's negative Black too. If you're gonna say, I don't like Black people who do that.
What?
You want to filter what blackness is and what images come out. No, good, bad. Like we went to Africa.
The good, bad, and
we went to Africa. That means I'm going to take you. He was our showed us around. He was
our tour guide.
He said, "I'm going to take you to the good, the bad, and the ugly."
And we went to see the good, and it was like, oh my God, the
I loved it.
Beautiful. South Africa is beautiful.
But I love that history. I love other countries.
And then he said the bad.
I love how other countries teach history.
Yes.
They teach the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes. If you go to Europe, the good, the bad. We went to in Paris. What's her name's? Let Them Eat Cake. Castle of Versailles.
The castle.
The good, the bad. They said the good, the bad, and the ugly.
We saw the ugly of Paris.
They said the good. They told you about the good parts of that queen, Antoinette. The bad parts of her, the ugly parts of her.
I'm laughing because we're in Paris, in one of the areas that we stayed in, rode the train. It was graffiti more than what you see in the inner cities here.
Yeah,
graffiti everywhere. I'm like, ooh, this is the ugly part of Paris.
Emerald says, "Hey, ladies." Scarlett said, "Marie Antoinette."
So
they gave you the good. Y'all know that. Those of you who travel in other countries, you get a good history. They teach them all of it. Good, bad, and ugly. The good parts of us, the bad parts, and the ugly parts. But somehow in America, it wants to be whitewashed. They just want to teach we don't want to hurt anybody.
We have to look good in this history as well. We don't want to look bad. So we're letting you guys know. And I was telling my sister, I said, some people do think that, even black and white. Thank you for liberating us from the continent of Africa.
I've heard black people.
We would have still been running around.
Because they think Africa is some third world country.
We all are doomed.
All of the countries in Africa. They think it's like,
oh my God.
I don't know what it is. It's a history.
We brought
they don't know. They don't know.
Over here. Now you have become presidents. You become vice presidents. You've learned some skills.
Oh, gee, thanks. You've done us
you've got. And the sad thing about it is that we've learned these skills like Rosewood and
then
the
you burn down.
You burn them down because of some stupid lie.
So what about that, DeSantis? How about all the slaves that learned blacksmith and went on to Rosewood and started a blacksmith company, and then years later you came and burnt it down?
I'm like Florida on the Good Times. Damn. We trying to do our own thing, and you
or the white liberals. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. Or the white liberals.
Yes.
Hey, you learn how to do blacksmith. Guess what? You don't have to work. I'll just give you some money. Then you can be lazy and then have all kind of lazy kids from generation to generation, and we'll just take care of you because we feel bad for what we did for y'all when y'all was slaves.
Here's your crutch. Use this.
You shouldn't have to work anymore in your day in your life. My people hurt your people. We brought y'all bleeding heart liberals. And they be the same people that get clunked over the head when they go to the south side of Chicago. You really don't want to hurt me, black man, do you?
I've done a lot to help you. I've got made sure every kid you get money for them. You don't really have to.
Then when they getting robbed, why are you robbing me? I help black people. Bleeding heart liberals.
Oh, Lord, our world, help us.
You gonna teach us blacksmith, and then take the job, tell you don't have to work no more. You don't need to do blacksmith.
I want to hear tonight when we do
just a stupid.
I want to hear because Kamala's going to be speaking on her little interview. I want to see if she's going to talk a little bit more about that because they showed a little clip of that conversation, and she's thinking there shouldn't even be no conversation.
Why is it I told you,
it's like, why are we talking about this?
Take away slave and say a woman being violated in the bed. Replace slave. You wouldn't even have the conversation because it's so stupid.
Wow.
If a man turned around and said, I made her a better woman in bed.
She's a better lover.
She's a better lover.
I violated her and did all I need to do.
But I made her better. I taught her some stuff she didn't know.
How does that sound?
That's the same thing.
If she had not had me in her life, boy, where would she have been?
Now she has an OnlyFans page. She's making millions of dollars every year. If it wasn't for me violating her, she wouldn't have an OnlyFans page. She wouldn't be a sex worker. She wouldn't have all these different things she knows how to do, and she wouldn't be a millionaire.
I'm just grateful that in spite of our history and all the things that we had to deal with, like Mom said, families pulled apart, women violated, all the ugly things that we can. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for giving us the strength to go through it and still be strong through it. I know a lot has happened historically to our people, but I'm so grateful those of us who know God or have a faith in something that keeps them alive and strong.
Scarlett said, I hate the word violated. It's our word. We can't say that word.
We can't say the word, the real word.
But yeah, you said it. We can't say
violate.
If we say that word, they'll take us off of.
Think of the word violate encompasses anything.
But you're right, Scarlett.
Hurt.
It's that word.
Anything that hurts.
All right, let me move on because they get on my. I hate. We'll see. Kamala, you said she's gonna speak on it tonight.
We'll see how long she talks about that.
Is it CNN?
This is Lindsay's news thing, so I don't know if it's on CNN or not.
I don't know where. Yeah. But apparently she's gonna speak tonight about it.
And I like Lindsay. I forgot her last name.
Actor Paul Rubin, who came to fame in